Welcome back to Logic Paleo, where we take a scientific approach to answering the big questions of the prehistoric world, like who would win in a fight, a prehistoric bird or a prehistoric dinosaur? Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty details of beaks and talons and teeth and tails, we're gonna have to settle on some ground rules for this fight. First and foremost, since this is a battle to the death between a bird and a dinosaur, that means only one species of each can be chosen. So no flocks of birds versus a herd of hadrosaurs, even though that would be pretty cool to see. It also means that we won't be able to choose the location for this battle. We'll just have to accept whatever environment the animals would have inhabited during their lifetimes. And finally, since this is a battle to the death between two very different kinds of animals, we're gonna have to agree that the animals will fight to the death. No running away or playing possum. These two will fight until one of them is dead. Got it? Good. Let's do this. So for the bird, I chose a giant flightless bird called Titanis Walleri, which lived in North America about 2 million years ago. This bird was massive, standing almost 3 feet tall, and had a wingspan of over 26 feet. That's about as tall as a Tyrannosaurus Rex and a wingspan roughly the same length as the car you're probably watching this on right now. The bird also had a huge beak, longer than a grizzly bear's paw, and incredibly powerful legs, each one stronger than a human's femur, the strongest bone in our bodies. For the dinosaurs, I chose the herbivorous Maiasaura, which lived in what is now South Africa about 200 million years ago. Maiasaura was a prosauropod, one of the earliest and most primitive sauropods, the group that includes the more famous and much larger sauropods like Brachiosaurus and Diplodocus. Although not as famous, Maiasaura was still pretty large, about 40 feet long and 12 feet tall, with a long neck and tail and 4 sturdy legs. Maiasaura was also very heavy, estimated to weigh in at around 9 tons, which is about the same as 5 of your average adult humans. So to recap, we have a giant flightless bird with powerful legs and a massive beak, taking on a 9-ton plant eater with a long neck and tail. Not to spoil the ending, but this is actually a lot closer than you might think. Let's set the scene. Our bird and our dinosaur are in their natural environment. Titanis is wading through a shallow swamp looking for aquatic plants to eat, while Maiasaura is using its long neck to reach the tops of the trees to eat delicious leaves. Even though they are in different habitats, they both need water to survive. So eventually, they both end up at the same watering hole. After a long day of eating, Titanis takes a big drink of water and notices Maiasaura doing the same. Being a carnivorous bird, Titanis thinks to itself, "Hey, this dinosaur looks pretty tasty." But being a dinosaur, Maiasaura thinks to itself, "Hey, this bird is kinda small, maybe I'll eat it." So the two decide to settle their differences the only way they know how, by fighting to the death. Maiasaura takes a swing at Titanis with its tail, but Titanis dodges out of the way. The bird then runs at the dinosaur and tries to peck it in the eye with its massive beak. But Maiasaura defends itself by raising its front leg to block the attack. Maiasaura then stomps on the ground with its foot to try and make Titanis move, but the bird stands its ground and swipes at the dinosaur with its other foot. As the two continue to fight, Titanis realizes that it can't win by standing and swinging its feet. So the bird drops down and tries to get under Maiasaura to peck at the dinosaur's underbelly. But Maiasaura is too quick and agile, and it easily dodges Titanis's attacks. Realizing that it can't beat the dinosaur by standing, Titanis decides to lie down and wait for its opportunity to strike. Maiasaura, thinking it has won, walks over to the bird and takes a big bite out of its neck. But Titanis was waiting for this moment. With its head close to the ground, the bird can use its powerful legs to kick and push Maiasaura's head towards the ground. And as Maiasaura's head hits the ground, Titanis uses its massive beak to slice at the dinosaur's jugular vein. Maiasaura bleeds out quickly and dies. Titanis, although injured, survived and lived to fight another day. And that's why a giant flightless bird could defeat a prehistoric dinosaur. Don't forget to stay tuned for more prehistoric creature fights, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And as always, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.